and we'll just name this screen. Then click OK and come into sources on here. And it should go and detect the stream. Streaming is you can go and change the title by clicking on edit here, and you can choose the title, the description, and the customization here, and a few other settings.
ক্রাঞ্চি রোলের ভিতর চকলেট ক্রিমের ফিলিংয়ে অল টাইম ক্রিম রোল মুখে দিতেই স্পেশাল ইনসাইড।
פוצץ מסעדה בלב וושינגטון, שבאמת עשה את הדברים, ובארגנטינה פוצץ לנו את השגרירות שלנו ואת המרכז היהודי שם, פוצץ את שגרירויות ארצות הברית. האם אתם רוצים שלמשטר הזה יהיו טילים בליסטיים וטילים בין יבשתיים, כי הם עובדים על זה, כדי להשמיד את הערים של ארצות הברית? האם אתם רוצים? אני מדווח לכם, וזה דיווח אמת.
So it seems like maybe he's not going to speak English in this presser. Sometimes he does. So I'm sorry for the many of you who probably don't know Hebrew. I do have, a short while ago, the Israeli ambassador to the UN spoke. And I have that, and I assume he was speaking in English. So I might put that on.
מדברים על זה, לחות'ים, לשלוחים שלהם. זה טרור גרעיני על סטרואידים. זה סכנה לעולם כולו. אז ישראל עושה הכל, ואנחנו עושים הכל.
Yeah, let me do that. Let me do that.
אחרי 3,500 שנה של
So
ההיסטוריה
I tried,
אני לא אתן
but
לאייתולות, למשטר האייתולות, לחסל את הסיפור שלנו. מה שיחוסל זה הסיפור שלהם. ויותר מזה, אני יכול להגיד לכם שאנחנו בדרך הנכונה. אנחנו בדרך הנכונה בזכות האחדות האדירה שלנו, היכולות האדירות שלנו.
I'm gonna go with where is it here? Where is it here? This. Earlier today, now it wasn't even that long ago, I think it was about an hour ago, the Israeli ambassador to the UN spoke. So I want to throw that up, see some of what he had to say. Ooh, why aren't we seeing him? Why aren't we seeing him? There we go. Earlier today, Danny Dannon. Israel ambassador to UN. Play a little of this and see. Hold on, here he is.
Everyone, and thank you for joining us. Israel's ambassador to the UN, Danny Danon, will provide a brief statement about the latest developments in Israel and Iran since Operation Rising Lion. He will take your questions afterwards. If you do have a question, please remember to state your name and news outlet. Thank you.
Good afternoon. In the past 48 hours, Iran has launched over 1,000 missiles and drones directly at Israeli civilians. They targeted every major population center in the north, center, and south of Israel. Haifa, Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, Bat Yam. On Saturday night alone, 10 people were murdered, including 5 Ukrainian nationals who were visiting Israel. You can look at this photo from a building in Bat Yam, which is a city south of Tel Aviv. This building was hit by a direct missile strike. 7 civilians were killed, 2 of them were children. Their attacks on our civilians have left 23 dead and more than 600 injured. Last night, 8 more people were murdered and almost 300 injured. Similar pictures like this one we saw in the cities of Bnei Brak, Haifa, and Petah Tikva. Iran's goal is to kill as many civilians as possible. They are not hiding it, they are boasting about it. And we will ensure that it will never happen. We are determined to achieve our objective of Operation Rising Lions, to dismantle their nuclear program, to eliminate the threat of their ballistic missiles, and to neutralize Iran's grand extermination plan. Soon, the General Assembly will resume the debate on the topic of sanctions, and I have come with a clear message. Sanction Iran, isolate its regime, cut off its lifelines. The international community must find its backbone. It must sanction Iran now. The longer the wait, the greater the calamity. Thank you.
Batman Kalbasi, BBC Persian Ambassador. Since you had the last press conference here, over 200 Iranians have been killed. Majority of them are civilians. In the case of yesterday, there was an actual car bomb that went off in the middle of an intersection. Buildings are being attacked that are residential, not very dissimilar to this one. The claim that you're just attacking nuclear or military sites is plainly not true, because we are seeing images of civilians getting killed all over the place. That's one. The second one, the spokesperson for IDF this morning said to District 3 of Tehran to leave because their lives are in danger. There are over 300,000 people in that district. How could they possibly leave on a shortage of gasoline because Israel hit a bunch of gasoline depots and all the highways are blocked? Where are they going to go? Are you going to take responsibility for the many civilians who are dying in Iran right now under Israeli bombs?
So let's speak about intentions. We are doing everything within our power to minimize civilian casualties. We aim targets that connected to the regime. And if there are civilian casualties, we regret that. Iran, on the other side, is doing exactly the opposite. They send those ballistic missiles into the cities. And unlike, we had a conflict with Iran a few months ago. Back then, they were targeting military bases, Air Force bases. This time, it's a different case. This time, they are targeting the cities. So we try to minimize. And yes, if we can give a warning to civilians to move from those areas, we are doing it, because we have nothing against the Iranian people. And I want to be clear about it. We pray for the Iranian people. We care about the Iranian people. We know that they are oppressed by this regime, and we hope that the day will come that we can work with them, like what we did with them 46 years ago before the revolution. So we will do everything we can to minimize civilian casualties. But as you said, it's a war, and we have seen what happened in our cities. So we will continue to target the military sites in Iran.
The defense secretary of your own government said the Iranian people in Tehran will pay the price. You clearly don't intend not to.
No, he clarified his words, and here I'm telling you very clearly, we have nothing against the people of Iran.
Do you think it matters your intention when they're dying under your bombs?
Well, as I told you earlier, we are targeting military sites. We are targeting the facilities of the IRGC, the nuclear reactors, not like what the Iranians are doing. Please, Eddie.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador. Two questions. First, the head of the Atomic Energy Agency, Rafael Grossi, said today that Israel had not hit the underground nuclear facility at Natanz. I believe you had said at the Security Council meeting on Friday that the facility had been destroyed and enabled. What is Israel's assessment of that? And secondly, you just said that you're trying to get information out to the Iranian people about Israeli targeting, and yet Israeli planes hit the TV station, the main television station of Iranian television, which the UN spokesman just criticized, saying media outlets should not, and journalists should not be targeted.
Well, first I will, regarding your first question, we will not go into details, but we pushed back the nuclear program in the last few days, and we will continue with our efforts to push back the program. It's not a short operation. It's not similar to what we did in the 80s in Iraq when we had to attack one reactor, or in 2005 when we took care of the reactor in Syria. It's a much more challenging operation, and it takes time. Regarding your question about, we attack, targets that serving the IRGC in this effort. We will try to minimize all civilian casualties and to give warnings, but anyone who is cooperating with the IRGC and supporting the efforts of this terror regime should know that we have very good intelligence, and we proved it, and also we have very good control over the skies of Tehran now, so we can watch what's happening and we can take actions in Tehran.
So is that why the television station was targeted?
whoever is cooperating with this terror regime should be consider his steps. Yes, please.
Ambassador, with Transcendental Television, actually a couple of questions. First, do you have plans to come asking for any Security Council meetings on the escalation? And secondly, there's a report that Israel has a plan to exterminate the supreme leader of Iran. Is that still on the table? And yeah, I forgot the third one anyway.
So we will definitely look into calling for a session. We haven't done it yet, but you see the attacks on civilian centers, and I think that it adds up. Those numbers. We don't go into details of targets, but as I said earlier, we have very good control of what's happening today in Tehran.
What is your expectation of U.S. Army might get involved in this round of escalation?
Well, that's a question for the U.S., but I would say that, you see the chance in Tehran, it's not only death to Israel, it's also death to America. You see that Iran tried to assassinate not only our prime minister with a drone, they also tried to assassinate President Trump. So Iran is a threat not only to Israel, and I think many countries realize that, and you can hear it on private talks with many PRs here, that they're actually thankful for Israel of fulfilling this task of dealing with this terror regime.
Mr. Ambassador,
Yes,
Stefano
last question, please. Yes.
Stefano Vaccara, Hital Press, La Voce di New York. President Trump in Canada just said that Iranian contacted him to find a way to stop this war. He was asked, "What are you going to do it?" He said, in the beginning, he said it was now late, but my question to you is, what has to happen for Israel to agree for peace talk with Iran now?
So there's a saying in Farsi that you can do something with your hands and do something different with your legs. Maybe you can help me with the translation. So we need to see what are the actions of the Iranian regime is. Just to say it's not enough, because we saw in the last decades that they are a master of deception. They know how to play the game, to buy time. So if they really mean it, that they are willing to give away this machine of terror and destruction, that there would be place for dialogue. But if they are trying to buy time and to play the game, we are not there. Thank you very much. Yes, you're.
Yeah, thank you. Abdulhamid Salam from the Arabic Daily of Quds al-Arab. In 1 week, Mr. Ambassador, Israel attacked Syria, kidnapped 7 people. They attacked Lebanon and killed some civilians on the ground. They attacked Yemen also, in addition to the genocidal war in Gaza and the West Bank. Now you're displaying this building. If we want to display the buildings you destroyed in Gaza, how many pictures we need of that? And do you think that Israel is an international law-abiding country?
Absolutely, yes. And I will answer your question that every example you gave, you should ask yourself, who started? When you look at Gaza today, and there is suffering in Gaza, no one can ignore it. But who started it? There was a ceasefire on October 7th. It was peaceful. Hamas started it. When you look at what happened with Lebanon and Hezbollah, they started to join Hamas and started a fight with us. And when you look at Iran today, they decided to spend billions of dollars on nuclear capabilities and ballistic missiles in order to exterminate Israel. So yes, we are taking actions to protect ourselves, and we'll continue to do that. But you need to understand that in our neighborhood, unfortunately, there are some players, not all of them. We have the Abraham Accords, we have strong peace treaties with many countries, but you have radical elements that they have a vision to wipe Israel off the map, and we are ready to stop them from fulfilling it.
But you started the war in Iran.
No.
You admit that.
No, we took a preemptive steps in order not to be surprised like happened to us on October 7th. Thank you very much.
Can't hear me. Hey, that was Danny Danon, the Israeli ambassador to the UN. And we are bringing you live coverage here. And hold on a minute here. So, about an hour or so ago, there was a alert where Israel told its citizens to get close to their shelters Normally they do that right before in a missile attack. But then about 40 minutes later, they said, okay, you don't need to be near your shelters anymore. And so you might wonder what happened. Now, interestingly, about a few minutes ago, the Israeli military posted that they were carrying out attacks on surface-to-surface missile sites in Iran, which I would assume be the kind of missile sites that would that would fire missiles toward Israel, surface to surface, surface of Iran toward surface of Israel. So, could Israel have disrupted this missile attack? Was there going to be a missile attack, and then Israel stopped it by attacking those missile sites? I don't know, but it was interesting timing. But Israel does say, they did post that, I'll read their post to you, the IDF post. It says, the IAF, the Air Force is currently striking surface-to-surface missile infrastructure in western Iran. So was there going to be a missile strike in the last hour? I don't know. Did they stop it? I don't know. And Iran also has threatened today to launch its largest and most intense missile attack yet in state media. So we'll have to see what happens. A couple of quick thank yous here. Thanks so much for your support. Hang on a moment. Hang on a moment. Thanks so much for your support for the channel. Galileo Schwartz. Meta Guide. And our viewer whose name in Hebrew viewer. Thank you. And Gunnar, thank you. XMCX, In and Out of the Abyss, Chris D, John Venturini. Yeah, I'll try to check on some. I don't have a translation personally about what Netanyahu said, but I'll try to check on some reports about what he said. He gave a presser in Hebrew. Thank you, Anon. In and Out of the Abyss. John Hopkins, D3, COD, ED Squit, Patrick Wong, Aaron A, Baronico, Keyboard Warrior Assassin, PH Survivor 92, Firejack, Mitchell Pilot, Paul D, Jory, Bean Juice Bond, Heavenly Intervention. Thank you. I think I'm caught up on everybody. Aleph Tav, Robert Newton, Christine, Dave Long, Mr. Shovel, 1968, a couple more. Susan Irish, Claudia from Brazil, Mr. Laser, Katie, Merv Sangoon, Gizzy MC, Holy Toads, Tad Jack Studio, Denoga, Rohit Rana, Ribo Dip, Christine West. Thank you. Also, somebody gave a bunch of memberships. It was, where is it here? CBRPNK gave 50 memberships. Wow, that's really nice of you. CBRPNK. Make sure you thank somebody if they gave you a membership or a subscription. Thank you. Also, thanks Zuli Tech, on Twitch, Mola Simano on Twitch, and Oxytropis, and Whoshot JR and Notorious Rob on Twitch. All right, we're going to get you caught up here. Give me a moment. Oh, and also shout out to, very kind of you, Layer Leitner. Layer Leitner. That's very kind of you. Thanks so much for your support of the channel. Oh, and Gringo. Gringo gave 20 memberships. That's so nice of you, Gringo. Thank you. And Griffin Mancini and Rosalie L. Thank you. And Brian Shady and Very Pog. Thank you so much. All right. So let's get into some of the updates here. Again, I don't know if Israel disrupted an Iranian missile strike. Again, about an hour ago, Israel told its citizens to get near their shelters. Then after 40 minutes, they said, you don't need to be near your shelter anymore. And they also said they were attacking surface-to-surface missile infrastructure. Yes, and by the way, Manny Fabian of Times of Israel said that the IDF announcement was that they were attacking ballistic missile launchers. Okay, so I guess my translation said surface-to-surface missile infrastructure. Manny Fabian says that means ballistic missile launchers. So, again, Israel tells people to get close to shelters. Then they say, you don't need to be near the shelters anymore. And almost right after they say, we're attacking ballistic missile launchers. So maybe they disrupted a missile attack. I don't know. Or maybe Iran was going to fire missiles and they noted that Israeli planes were close and they decided not to fire them. Thanks, Labib Marcus, by the way. Thank you, Labib. So we will need to see how that plays out. And I just want to make sure I don't have... Hold on. By the way, the Wall Street Journal's Lawrence Norman says that Lawrence Norman of the Wall Street Journal said that the head of the International Atomic Energy Agency, Rafael Grossi, Lawrence Norman of the Wall Street Journal said that Rafael Grossi of the IAEA has strongly implied that all 14,000 operating cascades underground at Natanz, which would work to enrich uranium, may have been knocked out. He told BBC that the IAEA assesses that the sudden loss of external power may have damaged the centrifuges, if not destroyed altogether. That's an important facility for Iran's nuclear weapons program. But it is not clear. There has been above ground damage. The extent of the below ground damage is not clear. Oh, hold on a moment. I want to mention this as well. I just saw this posted by Parallel Universe, who I follow. He lives in Israel. And he posted this from the Cyber Israel National Cyber Command. Let me show you this real quick. Give me a moment here. Okay. This is from 10 minutes ago. National Cyber Command. Fake text messages are now being distributed in Israel, urging people not to enter shelters and warning of a fuel shortage. This is an attempt to sow panic. Official messages are sent only through the Homefront Command app and website, Hotline 104 and media channels. The message does not harm the phone. Block the sender and don't forward it. I wonder if I can do a quick translation of this message for you. I bet I can. I can get it translated for you. Google Lens can do it. Oh, I can turn the volume up on these cameras, by the way. Get a little volume there. Okay, okay, this is the translation of the message from National Cyber Command. They said this is an example of a fake text message being sent to people in Israel. That they say that there's this text message going around saying avoid staying in shelters until further notice. See, they say, fake text messages are now being distributed urging people not to enter shelters and warning of a fuel shortage. These are fake. So that's happening. And I will keep, if there's any kind of missile firing warning or anything, we will certainly let you know. Oh, hey guys, look. The Homefront Command posted about this as well. Homefront Command, this just happened. Look, Homefront Command. Israel, in recent minutes, text messages have been distributed that pretend to be messages from the Homefront Command. If you have received such a text message, it is a false message. The Homefront Command does not personally contact civilians. Remember, reliable information is only obtained from the official channels of the Homefront Command. Do not share false information or forward messages without checking their source. That was just posted a few minutes ago. Homefront Command is civil defense there. Maybe whoever is sending those fake messages is also sending the fake messages to our chat where people say that there's missiles incoming or rocket alerts, even though there's no such thing. I guess I've now figured out why we have so many people, viewers, posting that in our chat. So maybe once they get that fixed, it'll be fixed in our chat. N12 News reports that in the Israeli Basketball League, the championship game between Maccabi Tel Aviv and Hapoel Jerusalem has been canceled. The season will end without a champion. Oh, Con News. Con News is reporting what they say is the reason that Israel, about an hour ago, told people to get close to their shelters and then said, oh, you can not be near your shelters anymore with no missile alert. Con News Israel says the explanation is that Israel detected preparations for a missile launch, but then later realized the indications did not indicate immediate launches, and it was decided to cancel the alert. I don't know if that's true. That's what Khan News says. Why don't we check out the? I want to talk for a second about the sorry, the state TV, the Israel's attack on Iranian state TV. That's a big story today.